What's up, guys? Ross here from Consolidata, and welcome to our training. My unconventional offer that works in any niche and requires zero skill to fulfill on. Now, I got two apologies to make to you out of the gate. One is that you'll probably notice that I'm doing this training from a camper. And the reason for that is because this morning, my dog started having puppies. She went into labor. I think we're like 7 or 8 puppies in right now at this point. So wife and kids are in there having a blasty blast. So you can imagine it's chaotic and it stinks in there right now. So I'm like, I'm getting out of there, hooked up the generator. We're doing this training from the camper. 2 is that if you're watching this video, means something crazy went on. As soon as those puppies came out, I knew I needed to do this. If you're watching this, it means I had to pre-record this training. But I still have put an offer that is in here that is only, and I'm going to be giving it away at the end. It's special for anyone who stays on for today. So even you don't have to pay me a dime. You'll still get it. It's free. But at the end of this training today, I'm giving every single one of you 25 leads completely free. 25 leads in any niche, any business. I don't care what it is. But you got to stick around to the end to get those 25 leads. And that is going away after this training. It won't be on the replay. It won't be on any of that. If you're watching this and it's live, or then you'll be able to get access to that. Lastly, I wasn't sure what my internet situation will be based off where we're at, if we have to go to an urgent care or something like that, because 2 of the dogs came out with no placenta attached. So with that in mind, I'm going to be in this live chat with you. Not going to be an AI bot. It'll actually be me. So you'll be watching this. I'll be able to answer those questions. And then at the end, I'm going to hop on live and do Q&A to answer any questions that you guys might have. But I just wanted to make sure that I still produced a high quality training, because if you've registered, you've slotted out an hour of time for this. To me, it's very important that you actually learn something in this. So I didn't want to do this. Let's pretend it's live crap. Let's just, call a spade a spade. Really good training pre-recorded. Doesn't matter whether or not you are here in the live, or whether or not I'm speaking live, because you're going to get the same information. I'm in the chat. I'm going to hop on, do Q&A at the end, and then I'm going to give you guys all free 25 leads. Sound good? Let me know in the chat, because I'm in the chat. So let me know if that sounds good, so that way I can start engaging with you guys, okay? Now, when you look at this topic, my unconventional offer that works in any niche and requires zero skill to fulfill, you know what the first thing that comes into my mind is? Like, if I saw that, bull crap. Like, it just doesn't seem like that exists. It actually sounds like something you'd hear like Russell Brunson or someone who's just trying to sell you something say. So what my goal in this training today is to teach you that, show you that that's actually true. And I'm not, because right now when I just said that phrase, you know what I did? I lowered my credibility in your mind, because it sounds like a bunch of crap. But my goal is to come back and actually exceed. We're like, oh, he wasn't full of crap. He actually meant what he said. So that's what we're going to go through today. Hopefully you guys will see it at the end of this, because here's the thing. Let's just be real. Have you ever been on a webinar like this where they're not trying to say, hey, if you learn this skill, then you can go offer it to other people and you're going to make a ton of money? Usually not. See, I have a friend, his name's Dan Nicholson. You guys may know him. He has a book called Rigging the Game. You should definitely check it out. Shout out Dan Nicholson. And he and I were talking. I learned a ton from him. So, by the way, one of the best things you can ever do is learn from people smarter than you. Dude's legitimately smarter than me. So I don't want you guys to think, oh, that's Ross's knowledge. But he said, one of the things that he's analyzed and seen is that most business owners, entrepreneurs, the reason that they fail is because they try to do too many things at once. They try to start a business, learn a new skill, and try to learn how to sell that skill all at the same time. As he said that to me, I was like, I don't know why I never thought about that. It makes sense, but like, God, that's why all these Facebook ad agencies failed. I remember in 2017, I bought a course. We were all told that if we learned how to run Facebook ads for small businesses, we would all be millionaires by the end of the year. Only 2% of us actually ever built 7-figure businesses running Facebook ads for other businesses. That's a legitimate number, because I went through the actual size of the group. I figured out who was successful. It was roughly 2%. Might have been actually a little bit less. It's no fault of the person who sold it, so I'm not casting shade on people. All I'm saying is that when people have to go in and they're trying to learn a new skill, there's something that happens. They don't have much confidence in that skill, because they don't have anyone to run it for you. So they don't really have any confidence in it, and so they struggle to sell it. It's really hard to sell things that you're not confident in. If you've never done it, you're not confident. So it's like you got this backwards thing. So you're not only trying to learn how to do that, you're trying to learn how to do this. And then you know what happens? People spend so much time just trying to perfect the product that they keep procrastinating the sale. They never actually go out and make sales. And you got to have sales. That's why you see people with like pimped out go high level accounts and all these features and colors and, everything looks different, but they've got no users on it, or they're just trying to give it away to people for free because they don't have anyone on it. They don't know how else to get traction. And so what I'm going to be showing you guys today is going to show you that you can go out there and sell something that requires zero skill to fulfill on, but it still holds extreme value. Think about right now, AI bots. Why do people struggle? Well, for the last year, a lot of platforms were unstable, including ours on AI bots. I mean, an LLM goes down, that's out of everyone's control for something to happen. So now not only do they have to try to learn how to build AI bots, make them sound good, then they got to sell them. And then you know what happens? They sell the AI bot and the customer's complaining about things that it said, and now they're constantly tweaking it, and they can't just sell it, install it, and move on and keep going. They have to sell it, install it, and tweak it and optimize it until the person says, you know what, let's just turn it off. I cannot tell you how many people sold a bot. They were all excited. I got $3,000. I got an AI bot. They sold it. They installed it. Like, wow, it only took me 2 hours to install it. Okay, that's not too bad. The customers every day, hey, it just said this. Hey, it just did that. Hey, I don't like how it said this. Hey, and then after a while, you know what, this just isn't working. Can you please just cancel this? Some people want refunds. That is exhausting. That's frustrating for people. So when you try to wear too many hats, that's the kind of thing that happens. But what if you could just focus on collecting the cash, taking 15 to 30 minutes to fulfill, or having your team member do it? I mean, that's max. That's what I'm going to be showing you guys. And then you're not constantly tweaking ads, tweaking bots, etc. So today's training, it's going to be perfect for anyone who wants to have something sexy to sell that not every go high leveler and their grandma are selling. Also, if you want to finally have some stability in what you're selling, where you have some freedom, like you could sell something, have it installed for 15 to 30 minutes, and then say to your customer, hey, I'll reach out to you next Wednesday, see how things are going, and go camping for the weekend. You can do that and not freak out thinking, oh my God, these ads might not be converting. Oh, maybe I'm walking into a mess on Wednesday. If you want something like that, this is going to be great for you. And also, if you don't want to have like this big old team to be able to grow a 7-figure company, this is it. You could run this lean. You could run this entire thing off you and one other person. If you really want to scale it, maybe you could go to 3. You don't need that many people in order to do this, and they don't have to be in the US. You could run this whole thing off of you and like a $600 a month person from the Philippines. Like it's really, really easy to do that. Now, I'm not going to do a big intro for you guys as to who I am. Reason for that, most of you guys know who I am. I've invited a lot of you guys from my communities. Yes, we're running some cold traffic, but if you're wondering who I am, just look up Consolidated, look up my company. I don't feel the need to sit here and try to show you videos and pictures of me speaking with famous people to build authority. Hopefully my words, my education will make sense. It'll have the ring of the truth, and then you won't have to do any of that. I'm the CMO and co-founder of Consolidated. Been in the marketing space since about 2016, 2017, after I sold a brick and mortar business that I had. But one thing that I have been very good at over the last, we'll say 5 years, is spotting a wave before it starts, sitting out there with my paddleboard, riding that wave, and then when I see other people getting on that same wave, being able to take an exit and not have to play with them because it gets muddy. And that's what I just did with AI bots, because I got out there before it got huge, and now that it's getting super muddy, I've taken my exit. But I'll tell you something, I'm tired of taking exits. In fact, I'm tired of riding waves. While I have had a software that's been consistent, you still see revenue going up and down. For instance, in October of last year, Go High Level, they released their new features. Go High Level Consolidated took a pretty nice hit in our revenue. And then we plateaued for a really, really long time. And it wasn't until we went back to focusing on our data and analytics that we saw things going back the right way. Are you guys ever feeling like you're constantly chasing waves and you're trying to now learn that skill and trying to learn to sell it at the same time, and you just feel like this is a momentum that I just can't keep going on with. If that is the case, you guys are going to love this training because I'm going to show you guys how in the world that we're able to do all of this. But I want you to think about something for just a moment. Internet providers, Facebook ads, Hulu and Netflix, and Twilio. These are just 3 random ones that came off the top of my head. You could probably think of others. What do they all have in common? I'm going to step aside here, grab my coffee, while you just think about that for like 5-10 seconds. What do all of these companies have in common? They give you access to a utility, something that you really can't get without them. Yes, they have competitors, but their utilities and their infrastructure and their relationships run so deep it's super hard to recreate them. For instance, an internet company has fiber optic cables running all over the cities. You'd have to get a network and license access to, those to be able to get access. It's just a lot. No one in their right mind, they might shop around prices a little bit, but you've got like 2 or 3 main providers in every area, and you look at them and you're like, okay, I'm going to go with one of these. You don't typically try to find little guys because you're like, they're not going to be able to compete with pricing if they're running on the other guy's stuff, right? When you go deep, or you think of like Netflix, people get a lot of value out of Netflix. It's a utility. It's an entertainment utility. When your bill let's say you have a card that expires, what do? You go put your new card on, otherwise you can't use it. It's kind of something that's just unique. Like, yes, there's Hulu and Amazon. There's 4 or 5 other like real competitors, but it's a utility. Twilio, it's the same thing. You need to use it. They give you access to this, and they have intellectual property that makes them unique, their IP. So thinking about that, what is your IP? If you're running right now a business where you got Go High Level and AI bots, think, what is my intellectual property? I'll tell you what. If your answer right now is, well, I've got a prompt and a sequence and set up in a specific way that other people don't have, your IP sucks. I'm just throwing that out there because everything is recreatable. AI bots are so easy. If you really think that you sitting in a room for a few hours to create something cool is something that someone else can't do, your IP sucks. If you're like, well, I've had 3 or 4 clients that I've perfected this on, your IP still sucks. And here's why it sucks. Because if you're trying to charge a premium price for that IP, and you get on a phone call with a customer and you really try to sell it to them, what do you think happens shortly after that call while they're thinking about it? Facebook starts displaying ads to them. They've been listening. They know what the person's interested in. They start seeing ads of other AI bot companies, other AI softwares, and all of a sudden you can build your own AI bot for only $50 a month. They see all this different stuff popping up. It devalues what your stuff has. Hey, I just listened to that. It actually sounded pretty good. And so we like to inflate what we think we really are. And what I've learned, because I've made this mistake myself, so I promise you, you probably are doing the same thing. If you think your snapshot is so unique, if you think that your IP of your bot is so unique, it's just not. Look at like the Facebook ads. Everybody's running the same crap. Everybody's running the same sort of copy for every same niche. There's just nothing out there that's really that unique in those spaces anymore. So it's only going to get harder and harder. And if that aggravates you, I'm sorry, but the longer that you stay in denial, the longer it's going to be before you're going to, or the more likely it's going to be that you're going to hit a wall at some point and it's going to be too late and you're going to have one of these again, where you have ups and downs and ups and downs. If you're running your business on Go High Level, and I'm not talking smack about them, great platform. We integrate with them. You need to use it for some of what we're going to talk about today. But if everything that you have, your IP, is built into prompts and snapshots, it's all duplicatable. And it's just not that sexy. You don't have deep relationships. You don't have deep infrastructure, stuff that they're actually trying to put into place. There is only one guy that I can think of off the top of my head, shout out Alex Branning, who actually has something unique, and it has nothing to do with the platform from what I've seen. It has to do with the company he built around it. That's the only person who's a Go High Level reseller that I've ever seen that I'm like, oh, This is really cool. This is unique because he's got a support. It's just like he is providing an experience for people. That's the only way that works. So I don't want to make blanket statements and make it sound like it's impossible. But for most of you, it's just not going to happen unless you're a crazy genius person like Alex who literally wakes up and all he does is, piss excellence, if that makes sense. So with that said, you're trying to convince people right now that your settings and your setup are better than the tens of thousands of other people who are selling the same thing. Just want to say it one more time. Your settings and your setup are better. You're selling better, not new, not different. You're selling better. That's a hard thing to do. I mean, that goes all the way back to .com secrets. It's hard to sell an improvement offer, but it's much easier to sell something that's a completely new thing. So then as your price goes up, their level of suspicion does, and then everybody starts marketing in front of them, and now you've just lost this game because it would take a complete idiot to pay a premium for something that they see in their newsfeed for $100 a month. And you know what? Most idiots can't afford that your offer. People who make good money make good decisions. And you're not a good decision if you're trying to sell these things at a premium. So what is the answer? Become a utility. That's what we're going to talk about, how to actually become a utility. A utility has infrastructure, it has relationships, and it goes so deep that your customers really just can't go out there and do this on their own. They either go through you or someone else who's selling it at a higher price than you. And for me, you know what that utility is, and that's what we're going to discuss here today? Identity resolution. And the reason for that is because it goes back to a tried and true thing that everyone needs always. Leads. And we found a way to get them incredible results. Now, here's the thing that's kind of cool, is that identities give resolution. It gives your customers the ability to grow their email list, to grow their address list for, postcards, etc. A targeted audience that's going to produce a good ROI. Now, in the past, it didn't. So you see, it requires zero skill to add the script to someone's website and let our software do the work and generate the leads. It requires zero skill for the fulfillment. You just copy, paste, send the leads. But in the past, it wasn't something where people were getting a response or results out of it because they didn't really know how to use it. Okay, this is cool. How do I use it? Now, here's what they used to say to do. Put it into a custom audience. Run a lookalike audience on Facebook to it. That's a horrible idea. You don't think Facebook already has this data? All you've done is bottleneck Facebook now, saying you can only use this data. Facebook and Google have more data than you and I will ever have. I have split tested this over and over again, and you will almost never beat Facebook or Google's data just running ads to that data. Even people are like, oh, I'm running ads to search intent data. Okay, you know who else has search intent data? Google. You can just run ads to Google. Oh, but I put them in Facebook. You don't think that Facebook doesn't have, when you go to the interest section, that they're not using in this intent data? They don't. All these people have Facebook ads on their or pixels on their website. It's so much cheaper just to use their platforms, and I always get better results. The identity resolution, though, is useful in two ways: email and postcards, and they both work incredible. They both work awesome. So it requires you to have such little skill to actually get results with this for people. Actually, no skill to get results for this with people. So here's my question. How would you guys like me to show you right now how you get results with identity resolution, how you can sell it and package it and put a little bow on it in a way that people want it, and how to generate appointments for people who want it? If you guys want that, let's go ahead. Let's get started, because that's what we're going to discuss. Do me a favor, though. Let me know down in the chat here, because I'm watching in the chat. I can see what you guys are saying. I'm going to get fired up for this. I might even try to throw in a few extra leads for some of you guys that actually start commenting. I might give you more than what you've bargained for, so let me know down below. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's discuss this. Let's just use the example of a car dealer. A car dealer pays a lot of money in advertising. They're paying tens of thousands of dollars to be on radios, billboards, and all of that. Do you think that any of them are generating actual like warm leads for under 50 bucks a pop? Very rarely, maybe through SEO. So let's say that you install this script on their website and you, the agency, charge them $1 per lead. And they have 10,000 visitors a month to their website. On average, you'll probably generate for them about 3,000 leads from those 10,000 visitors. Not all 3,000 of those people reply. You send them into a little email campaign, just simple campaign. Hey, Ross here. Wanted to see if you're interested in getting our list of cars under $25,000, or is there a specific model you were looking for? Whatever, something, just a simple email with an opt-out. You might think that's creepy with an email. We've really not seen anyone creepy. If you try to call them, it's almost illegal, but you email them, it's legit. And on average, you're going to see roughly like 5% of these people reply. Now, I'm going to just shrink that math for you because I like to get conservative. I like to undersell, over-deliver. We're going to pause the car dealer thing for just a moment because I want you to understand why I get this math, where this math comes from. Did you know if you send cold postcards and you're like a car salesman or a realtor or whatever, you send cold mailers out to everyone, a successful campaign is considered about a 2% campaign, a response rate. In fact, even when we used to cold call, after every 100 calls that we would make, we were happy if we were able to just get 2 people who said yes. That was pretty good for us, a 2% response rate. When I run a webinar, I'm pretty happy if 2% of registrations actually buy the thing that I'm selling at the end of it. So you can be profitable on 2%. And the reason I bring that up is because out of those 3,000 leads that end up buying, you're going to on average see about 2% of them actually that they bought be like, yeah, I'm interested in this. Doesn't mean they're going to buy something, but it means that like they're a warm, high intent lead. Now the sales guy's got to do his job. Let's break down that math. Let's say you sold those 3,000 leads for $1 a pop, which you're only paying 12 cents a pop for. We charge people 12 cents a pop. It's super inexpensive. And they're quality leads. Like, they are so good that one of the guys who resells them, he built his funnel out for it. And he sent a screenshot to our group like, dude, look, my girlfriend's spying on me. He could see his girlfriend in the funnel. It popped through her identity. Like, it's good stuff. So they send out those 3,000 leads, and guess how many reply? About 60. That's about 2%. I'm just being, it's probably going to be more than that, but I'm just going to say about 2%, whether they did the postcards or the emails, end up replying to that. So that means that they paid $50 for a warm lead, and it's not like Facebook ads or a radio ad or something where you don't know if this is going to work. You're literally only getting charged your credits used. They're only getting used up as you're actually getting the leads. So you're growing their list. They're going to love you from the get-go. And guess what? It took you 15 minutes to install this script on the website and send it into a CRM. You can literally write a 2 to 3 sentence email that it sends them, and you're done. And that's it. Now, you can get more complex if you want to have like a 7-day follow-up sequence. You can have, retargeting ads to these people and so forth. But like, you can get results, good results, with one email, one copy paste thing in there. You can be set up 15, 30 minutes and be done with it. And you're going to keep getting them results. And you know what's going to happen is if they're running Facebook ads, think of this. They're probably paying between $5 and $15 cost per lead. This same car dealer, hypothetical car dealer. How many actually reply? Did you know that on Facebook ads, only about 60% of leads ever actually respond to that lead? So let's do that math there. Let's say you have 100 leads that come through. That means you spent $1,500 out of those 100 leads, and 60 of them end up actually replying. That's not bad. That's good math. It works out. But did you know with that same exact $1,500 that you spent, let's say that you were paying $1 per click, you've now just increased your clicks by $1,500. Meanwhile, the identity resolution has generated 450 leads that have come through. And you've already had another 8 to 10 people that have come through, and guess how much that identity resolution costs them or cost you? Very little. Very, very little. The math just works out to where no matter what. Now, here's the thing. You can sell it at $1 a pop all day. You can sell it at 50 cents a pop all day. And I'm going to explain to you why you may choose to do that here in our next section, which is how do you sell this? How do you put a little bow on it, package it in a way that people want it and they say yes? I have found the magic art. Now, it's funny because I've run challenges on this. I run workshops on this. And I was just teaching what was working for me at the time. This is the first time, whether or not you've watched my workshops or not, probably that you're going to hear me say what I've been finding is doing really, really good in bulk. So I had a guy reach out to me about a month ago. And he said, hey, Ross, I'm trying to get leads in. It was a specific vertical and a specific niche. We're running ads. We're doing this. We're doing that. Just want to see, I know you're in this space. What can you do for me? So I went through the whole process with him. I went through the setup, the email, this and that, and how it works. And I showed him the screenshots, which right now, as I'm talking, I'll be showing this to you on the screen. You can see like not only what they were doing, you can see on the, like the videos of it on the website, who they are. You can see their credit scores, their information, their email, like so much detailed data. He was in. All I had to do was the math, show him it made perfect sense. He was down, he was in. But then I said to him this, and actually I think I did teach this part in one workshop. I said, here's the deal. The company that I'm in network with to buy this data from, in order for me to be able to get this data at such a good rate, I had to agree to buy more data than what I'm currently using. So I'm currently using right now way less data than what I've agreed to. And you know what that means? That means that at the end of the month, there's going to be a slight deficit. So here's what I'm willing to do for you. If you're willing to buy this data in bulk from me, I will do all the setup for you. I'll set up the emails for you. You won't have to do anything. You can literally just give me access to stuff and I'll go for it. Boom. That was the very first time I sold, a 5-figure identity resolution offer. Yep, let's do it. And then I gave him a discount on the credits even. I said, I'll give you it at this rate. Because, why not if you can sell them in bulk? Now, here's what I know. If I can sell them in bulk, they're going to get used to it. They're going to adopt it. They're going to start seeing results on it. I'm going to give them a dashboard that shows them how to get results on this. And then you know what's going to happen? As they run out of those credits, they're going to keep re-upping for life. And if they want that discount, I'm going to keep getting it in bulk. So my strategy is to sell bulk credits, set them up on it, and then let those keep tapping out. And then when they tap out, they keep re-upping. Because here's why. Even if they say, I can't do that, I can downsell them. I can say, hey, you know what? That's okay. You could do it at our normal rate. You could give it a try. 12 cents, whatever it ends up being. If it's a retail business, you probably want to do 50 cents per credit, something like that. Only 50 cents per lead, and that's how this goes. But by going after the bulk deals, you'd be surprised how many people say, yes, let's do it. Let's go ahead and roll with this. And so that's how I'm packaging this offer. I'm positioning the value against it. So I'll tell you another one. Literally 5 minutes. This is just top of mind. 5 minutes, 10 minutes before I started recording this, I had a guy call me. Hey, Ross, I'm looking for businesses that are wanting to sell their service-based company, and they are also e-commerce businesses. How could I get some leads on this? Do you have any ideas? He doesn't even have like a funnel, anything like that set up. I wouldn't normally maybe do this, but I happen to have a system already set up for all of that because I've done it for other companies. Like I literally have the things ready to go. So I walked him through it. And normally I would have charged the person for something like that, maybe like $2,500, because I'll slap a domain name on it, slap the email on it, bada bing, bada boom, get that thing running. Like this is going to be a cakewalk to be able to get those kinds of leads. Super easy. But I said to him, I'll make you a deal. I have something that's more important for me right now than making this money off of you from the setup of this. And that particular deal will probably take us maybe an hour to get it all set up. I said, I have something that's more important for me, and that's this identity resolution. So here's the offer that I'll make. If you just buy these leads from me, I'll do all that for you at no cost. Now, here's the thing about these leads. You're going to get them. It's guaranteed. So it's not like you're buying something that might work. So what I'm doing is it doesn't matter what you're selling. I'm taking the thing that's like, wow, this is really valuable. Holy smokes. And I say, here, you can have it if you buy this from me. It's no different really than what like Hormozy just did with his books, where it's like, hey, because the thing is, it's like he showed a screenshot of all this educational product that's valuable, stuff that's great. People who need it should buy it. But instead, he's like, I'm just going to give you all this. The thing that I really want that would help me is if you just buy these books and give them away. I know people think I'm ratting on them because I feel that's a weird way to sell books, which I do. It is what it is, but it's a genius offer. But it's not new. It's not something he came up with. I have actually learned this from Fladlin, Jason Fladlin. You basically build all this value and you say you can have all this if you just buy this. And that's what we're doing. And what's cool is it's risk-free for them because like I'm guaranteeing leads. 100% you're going to get these leads. I'm going to put the script on your website. You're going to get the leads. There's no question about it whether or not you're going to get these leads. It's like the easiest freaking thing to sell in the world because now they're not buying in their mind. It's like, hey, even if I love things where you can say, even if all I get are the leads that come from the identity resolution, I'm going to make a crap ton of money. But this guy's saying that if I do this right now because it would help him, he's going to give me all this other stuff. Boom, they buy it. They get in on it right away. So here's what you could do. Just throwing this out there because a lot of you guys are selling Go High Level. A lot of you guys are trying to sell all that stuff. You could say, listen, we have this platform. You're showing them how the whole thing works. You're showing them the automate, how, the lead goes into the pipelines. It sends the automation. Like, show them that. It's really, really cool. They're enamored. And you say, listen, we got people right now paying us $500 a month. Or don't say us because maybe you don't, but there are people paying $500 a month to use this system because there are through Go High Level for this software to be able to get all these automations and this and that and set it up and manage the leads. I'll make you a deal. I'll give it to you for free and I'll set it all up for you 100%. I'll just give it to you if you buy this bulk package of leads from me. Now, here's the nice thing about this is you're buying leads that are going to go in. You're going to make money off of them. Like these leads are valuable on their own, but you're giving them all this other stuff. So you're positioning it as like so now here's what just happened for you. You sell something for $5,000. You sell this offer for $5,000 to them. They swipe the card. Think about what that math is for you. If you can buy in bulk from us, by the way, and you could get your leads, down to 10 cents if you buy in bulk from us. So let's just say you buy in bulk from us, you're paying 10 cents, you sell it to them for $1. Can you imagine how cool that is? Like you're making literally thousands of dollars off of somebody. All you're going to have to do is about an hour of setup if you're including a Go High Level. Actually less than that if you've got a snapshot. You set it up, bada bing, bada boom. You could have one of your Filipino assistants do this for you. And you're going to make so much more money doing that than trying to sell a subscription over here. And then when they run out of leads, they keep re-upping. And you just say, listen, as long as you keep your account topped off with credits, and you could even give them a minimum amount, you get all this other stuff for free. And it'll be a no-brainer deal for them to be able to do this. It's just, I can't tell you how easy it is. So now that brings us to the next question. How do you actually go about getting appointments? That's a good question. Now, there's obviously the easy answer would be, hey, put an identity resolution script on your website and do this for yourself. And that'll work if you have pre-existing traffic. But if you don't have pre-existing traffic, here's what you're going to do. Super simple thing. And before I can explain why this works or what we do, you have to kind of understand why this works. And some of you guys who have heard this training from me before, it's, hopefully you can sit through this because it's only going to take about 2 to 3 minutes. You've got 3 different stages in your brain that you have to trigger properly to get a sale. You've got your amygdala, your neocortex, and your limbic system, which is the middle part of your brain. The amygdala is your innermost, oldest part of your brain. It is one that we share with reptiles. It is responsible for PTSD. It is responsible for why people have an adrenaline release. And it doesn't think, it just reacts. So I'll give you an example of this. You're walking through the grocery store, you see these things, alien invasion coming soon. You're like, oh, this is interesting. Or Hillary Clinton's an alien. Oh, this is... They're trying to pique your amygdala, trying to get a little adrenaline. You know what satisfies adrenaline, though? Dopamine. The second you get that dopamine, oh, I don't have to think about that anymore. And I'll give you an example. Let's say in the past you were successful running Facebook ads for people. And you said, hey, would you like to get 10 to 20 leads, qualified leads per week in your company, blah, 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 blah. And you're telling them how to do it. And then you position yourself as the solution. People would book the appointment back in the day. Maybe they still do for you. But if you even hinted at the word of Facebook ads, your cost per lead went. And the reason for that is maybe they've been burned from people. So their amygdala is running away from it, fight or flight. Maybe they're like, oh, I already know what he's doing. I don't need any of that. And so they would split. So you see, it wasn't as appealing for people when you told them how you did it. The thing that's sexy about this, you can tell people exactly how you do it, and they still have no clue how to accomplish it. So I'm going to imitate an ad for you here real quick of what an ad like this would look like. And what's funny is you can sell this through LinkedIn automation. You could do this through cold email. You could just talk about it with your friends. You can do this on your group. For instance, if right now you were to post on your Facebook, you could even, go ahead and do this while we're talking here and say, hey, I got a question for you guys. I got a new system that is cranking out leads at 50 cents a pop. You only get charged as the leads are coming through. If this is something that you think you would be interested in, drop a I'm in below and I'll let you test it. 50 cents, you can even say something in there like, all I ask is that you give me a little testimonial if you want to do this at the end. Like, I would try that. You'll see people reply to this because they're like, I'm paying so much money on Facebook and Google and all this. Why not try it? And then you can get on a call with them. But here's my imitation ad. If you have the budget to run ads, you literally go, I'm just going to do the ad if that's okay with you guys. So I'll say something like this. What if I could cut your lead cost by almost 75% or more? I know that might trigger you, think this guy's bullcrapping everybody on Facebook, everybody online is trying to sell me something new, but I'll actually put money on the line here. I'll guarantee it. If you schedule a call down below, all I have to do is install a script on your website and I'll be able to send you leads at 50 cents a pop, guaranteed. It won't cost you any more than that. 50 cents is all it is. Bada bing, bada boom. I tell them over this, book the link below, boom. So I've said put a little script on your website. They don't know what that is. They don't even know how that works. Blows their mind. Now, what if they want to reverse engineer it? They will go mad trying to reverse engineer it. Now, they will see all these different identity resolution companies out there, but most of them are B2B, and the ones that are B2C suck. And you can just let them know. So if they have heard of identity resolution before, which I wouldn't use that term identity resolution in your ad, so that way they don't know anything to go search for. But if they have heard of identity resolution, then you can even play off those pain points. You could say, hey, if you're using any form of identity resolution, or maybe you've heard of it, stop. Most of it's crap. Addresses are wrong. Information's out of date. Probably it's not even the person that was on your site. Here's an interesting story. When I first got started trying to get into this, I tried 5 to 6 different providers, and I was doing something illegal. As the leads were coming through, I was just calling them. This is actually a true story. I was calling these leads to see. Most of these people had no clue who I was until we started using credit bureau data. Boom. Our data is pulled from TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. When someone hits our website, we send that device ID off. They tell us who that person is, and then we can kind of roll through it. But you can say things like that as a unique angle to be able to sell your product. But then what do you send them to? A funnel? No. You just send them to a calendar link. You send them straight to a calendar link. You might think, Ross, why would you do that? Well, remember, we're trying to pique their amygdala in the ad. But when you send them to a funnel, it's way too easy to accidentally release dopamine. Even if they don't know what it is, you could accidentally lead them in the direction of thinking they know what it is. But if you get them so stirred up in an ad and then you send them to a calendar, guess what happens? They think to themselves, oh, I'm going to book this call because I got to figure out what this is. If I want this dopamine release, it's on the other side of this calendar. And so that's what we do. And that's how we get those appointments with people. And it works, in the words of our president, beautifully. It works awesome. Horrible impression. But that's how it works. And it's really, really easy. So I know I've been spewing a lot of stuff here out at you guys. Let's do a quick little recap. The thing that you need to do if you want to ever actually have stability, freedom, not be plaguing it where you sell something and now you're doing tweaks and this and that, optimizations, you got to become a utility. Something where you set it up, it's running, people love it, they keep paying you for it, and they really can't find a better option for it out there. The secondary thing that you got to be able to do is make sure you get them a result with it. So, have at least an email set up to where as those leads are coming through, you can set up some automations. Now, I will tell you, side point, that we are integrated, or Go High Level is integrated with a company called Mailbox Power, and we actually have our own postcard thing coming. People are increasing their lifetime value extremely by charging people like $1 per mailer, which people are willing to pay. They're getting results for it, but they're only paying like 50 cents per mailer. So they're upcharging the mailer as well, and they're making really good money on this thing. Secondary thing maybe that's the third, but the third thing that you got to do is package this nicely. Make them feel like they're getting something of extreme value, and then you're just giving it to them if they buy the leads. And they're like, well, the leads are a guaranteed thing. The leads aren't even something that might happen. The leads are, I'm 100% going to get 3,000 leads at only 50 cents a pop. Like, there's no way I'm not going to get that because that's what this system does. This is what it gives me. It's just math. So you're giving them that, and credits roll over. It's not like they expire. And then you're giving them the other things. And then you're walking away making a ton of money off of it because we're only charging you 10, 12 cents depending on if you bought in bulk or not. And then lastly, you're going to need to get appointments. And you can do this through LinkedIn automation. You can do this through ads. You can do this just through conversations. It is the easiest thing to drum up conversations on. And in fact, we have a workshop that we've put through that teaches people exactly how to do this and exactly how to go through and get the appointments. And it goes through the ads and it goes through everything at a much deeper level than what we're able to do, in this training here. So as you guys are able to see, though, this is a offer where hopefully you feel like I made good on it, that this is something that requires no skill to set up. All you have to do is copy and paste a code. In fact, if you were to go sell it and you said, hey, to Ross, hey, we don't know how to set this up yet. Okay, we'll have Sherry hop on and show you how to do it, and she'll do it for you the first few times. And then, because we don't mind. If you're making money, we're making money because we're making money on the lead. So we want you to be successful with this. So heck, use our team to your advantage. We don't give a crap. We want to be the support for you. So you can see it really requires, all you have to do is start the conversations and sell it. That's it. Collect the money and sell it. We put the script on. I'll even help you if like you don't know what to say in an email. Send me a message. I'll write it for you. It's that easy. It's so simple. It's like you can show up on one of our on one of our weekly calls. We have a free call that usually happens on Thursdays. It won't be starting for another week or two just because of holidays. We're getting through all this, but we're happy to help you. You can even just ask us in the chat. It's straightforward. It's simple. So with that said, I have a question for some of you guys. Who is willing to see just a sweet, sexy little offer that I have for you guys? It's not something that we're going to try to charge you with $6,000 and give you 200 books for, so it's nothing crazy like that. But it is something that is beneficial and useful if you're like, hey, this sounds great. This is for me. This is something that I want. So here's what I would like to do for a select few of you who are interested in doing something like this. And you can just literally, I'll put a link down below. You guys can sign up, do it very quickly. You'll see this populate in. Some of you are going to want to go deeper on this. You're going to want to learn more nuances about the demo conversations, like how to actually do a demo of this. You're going to want to learn more in depth on how to actually get appointments for this. You're going to want even more clarity on what the numbers should be looking like for different verticals and niches and how those things go. And so I've actually built out a member site for this. And what's cool is when you log into the member site, we give you a lead generation tool. And you can copy this and you can run ads directly to this, and you actually can embed your own calendar into it. And what happens is the people, as you're running ads or even putting this on your website or whatever, they put in their website, their estimated traffic, etc., and they can see their estimated leads that they would get. And then if they want those leads, they book the appointment. Now, this tool is something that we've built custom for you. And in here, in the same member site, you get access to our workshops where we go deep on all of these things for you. So you're going to learn. And in fact, we give you videos of ads that are proven to work that you can just literally run those ads. Now, I will say if you wait 6 to 7 months, they might fatigue, but you just run those ads. You have website templates that you can use if you want to throw a logo on it and be able to hook up your domain to it. So that way you can just go. You can make this a turnkey business. If people ask, what's your company, you can show them that. And then also you just get access to our weekly coaching calls. So that way you can get on and ask me questions, etc. We're happy to help you and hold your hand on any of this. And then, we'll help you set up your stuff with your customers. So you're getting quite a bit in here. It allows you to actually pretty much have like a turnkey identity resolution company. Now, this offer would typically cost, if you were wanting to get into this, we ran this as like a series of live workshops where we were charging a couple $100 for the different series. It would typically cost, if you were to put it all together, about $1,500. But I'm a fan of inception marketing. I like to practice what I preach. So here's my offer for you. If you just buy $1,000 worth of credits for identity resolution, we're going to give you all of this for free. But we're also going to give you 10,000 leads in your bank of lead credit. So here's what that's going to do for you. You got 10,000 leads to go out and sell. So if you go sell 1,000 leads at $1 a pop of those, you just got all your money back right away. But think about that. 10,000 leads for $1,000. That means I'm giving it to you at 10 cents per lead. That's better than the 12 cents per lead that you would get if you were to just go on your own. It's a no-brainer offer. Now, here's what's cool is those 10,000 credits, they're going to go into your agency account inside of Consolidator. And what you'll be able to do is allocate those credits to sub-accounts however you want. So if you got a guy and he says, hey, I'm okay with this, but I'd like to try it. I don't really want to put any money until I try it. You could say, you know what? I'll give you 25 leads free. And you can have them try it. I wouldn't recommend doing that small of amount of leads free unless he just wants to see that it works, because you're probably not going to get a lot of responses at 25 leads. But my point is that you can play with those. You can use those credits as a way to entice people in, lower your cost per lead. There's a lot that you can do in there. But what's also exciting about this is you're going to get access to our community. You're going to get access to this member site. We're always adding and updating stuff in there. I've got a lot of cool new tools coming. We've got cold email templates coming that you'll be able to put in there. I have a whole LinkedIn automation training that's going in there, and you'll just get it. It'll all be included. And I'm not asking you to buy the member site. All I'm asking you to do is say, hey, if you like this idea of identity resolution, just buy these leads from me. Buy $1,000 worth of leads, and bada bing, bada boom, and we got a deal. If that seems like something that you guys want, all you have to do, click the link down below, and you'll be able to get access to these leads. Guys, I appreciate you being on the training. Now's the time where we're going to need to do a little Q&A. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat below. If you're watching this after the live has already aired, and you're just watching this in a funnel, I'm going to have a chat widget down here as well, and on the other end is me and my team. So feel free to ask any questions that you have in that chat, and we'll be there to answer it for you right away. Thank you guys. Have an awesome day.